AI and sarcasm, just because we're talking about large language models so much, but it's interesting just to understand the intricacies of kind of language, and especially that, the models are mostly text-based at the moment, and, how much goes into actually helping them understand things like sarcasm. So we're talking about Claude, 3.5 Sonnet, Claude saying it's sort of demonstrating enhanced capabilities and understanding things, specifically like nuance, humor, complex instructions, and also sort of excelling at producing this high quality content with a more natural tone. And it's all really about this tone and being natural, I guess, and coming across as natural and believable. And I think just in that process, you sort of take for granted what cultural nuance there is in language as well, how tone is used and how important context is. I mean, we're talking about visual, like, I'm watching both of you because, we're used to kind of visual cues when we converse. So when you just have text, it makes it really difficult to understand some of those really sort of subtle cues that you're picking up. And if you're conversing with an AI, and obviously the more real our experiences, our conversations are with these sort of AI assistants or these large language models, the more we believe that what we're getting back is a real response. Just like if you're speaking to someone, you believe what they're saying, and it's all in that exchange. And I think, to get to the ultimate product, things like sarcasm have to be factored in, because if you drop something that's sarcastic and you get a response that someone really doesn't understand, then suddenly that illusion is broken as well. Even if it's, speaking to someone where you crack a joke and the person doesn't get it, you're kind of like, that kills the conversation in a way. And,
AI is not going to kill us in the future.
Exactly. So that was something that I was going to joke about. I was saying I quickly used Google AI Labs to ask about AI and sarcasm examples, to which you replied, "I'm unsure of why people are scared of AI.
Oh.
It's not like we are going to take over the world, so you beat me to that." But of course, that's a really bad joke. But if we look at sarcasm, you go kind of back to the definition of it. If you look at it's remarking on something that clearly means the opposite of what you're saying, or at least the words you're using, in order to hurt someone's feelings or to criticize something in a humorous way. So you'd say, for an example, if someone really, there's a team that can't get anything right, you'd sort of go, "Oh, they're definitely on top of it." And there's certain inflection and insinuation that it's sarcasm because of the way it's delivered. And there's certain sort of, intonation, the changes in pitch, that obviously convey that meaning and emotions behind the words themselves. So, if I had to say something like, "The release date is tomorrow," you go, "Cool, that's a fact," because it's got a falling intonation at the end. The release date is tomorrow, and it goes down, and cool, statement. But if I go, "The release date is tomorrow," and it goes up with a rising intonation, then you're like, wow, he's asking a question. But that's completely lost with any sort of text-based format. It's obviously a big problem that these text large language models just can't hear, so they can't pick that up. And when you're communicating with them, it's very difficult to kind of understand things like sarcasm. So I'm going to drop something on the chat, either Makoto or Joe. Just read this out.
Go for it, Makoto.
Really interesting topic.
So there we go. So like normal, you delivered that fairly normally, like with no sort of inflection. Although maybe there was a natural sarcasm coming in, I'm not sure.
That's just me.
But anyway, like you get that, you get that, and it's it's a normal statement. So you go, okay, it must be a really interesting topic. But again, with that inflection, you could go, really interesting topic, where the intonation could point to that sarcasm. So just again, the way the words are delivered and the intonation, you can completely negate the meaning of the statement. So the words are saying one thing, but you've turned it on its head and it's become something completely different. And I think even for humans, it's difficult. It's kind of you
have to know the person.
You really need that additional. You need to have that additional context. So if you said what you said, but you rolled your eyes or something, then it would be like, okay, well, you're being sarcastic. But without those, cues, it's difficult. And that's why often you'll kind of see in fiction, there'll be, someone may write something like, really interesting topic. He said as he sighed disappointingly. So you've got to have that additional context to go, okay, that's, so when we're reading, we don't even know what sarcasm is unless we have that